Welcome back to my Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I should see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today. Excuse me, great way to start the video. Yeah, so we're relaxing. It's Sunday, everyone's vibing, we're having a good time, probably having a good time. Well, at least I hope so. If not, then sorry, I guess. I didn't really have any inspiring words I suppose to say at that moment. But hopefully you're having a fine time, and if you're not, then this too shall pass, is what I usually say in those sort of scenarios. But yeah, I don't know, what should we talk about today? I don't know. I suppose we'll just sort of figure it out as we go. So, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 4:39 PM on Sunday, June 4th, 2023. No big news to share today, but it's the start of a new week, okay? Isabel signing off, fantastic. I think we talked about this before, about, Isabel uses Sunday as the start of her week. Well, I'm much more accustomed to using Monday. Yeah, what can we talk about? Summer Games Done Quick has apparently happened. I didn't even realise it started, to be perfectly honest, but apparently it did at some point, so, cool. I got nothing against it or anything like that. I just genuinely didn't even realise it started. What else we could talk about? I'm not really sure. What have I been up to? Today was quite relaxed. Yesterday was, it's not even more intensive, to be honest. This weekend in general was rather a relaxed one. I just sort of played games and, indulged in my hobbies, I suppose. Because yesterday, I think I talked about this before, ages ago, but I was doing this thing with a friend, where we are basically drawing all of our friends as Pokemon. We ask our friends, being like, hey, what's your favourite Pokemon type / combination, or one which you think represents you best? And then we normally ask for an animal, because an animal is the easy thing to base things off. And I don't know if any of my friends want to be represented necessarily by an ice cream cone or something, but if they are, then fair enough. But we just draw fake Pokemon to do with that. And yesterday it's kind of finished. At the time, we did it, I thought we finished. I actually realised I think we missed one friend, but that's kind of on him because he didn't respond, didn't give us anything as an indication. But I'm going to pretend that's leaving the door open, I suppose, for future drawings. And it's pretty fun, making these fake-mon, I suppose, as it's called. Bears of course looks amazing. I like mine as well. I will say I don't think a lot of mine actually look that much like Pokemon, to be honest. If there's only a few handful of them, I'd be like, I can see this actually in the Pokemon game. So that most of these sort of just look like a mythical creature, like a parody of Pokemon, what's Temtem? Is that what the sort of Pokemon fan game is? It's not a fan game because it's actually an official game now, but it's sort of you can see it's got the same adjacency of Pokemon, of these fictional monster creatures, but it doesn't quite look like Pokemon. At least to me personally, because it's got my own style for it. But certainly some of it could be refined, I think. And really, at the end of the day, it's just kind of all in good fun. Yeah, so I did that, and I played a lot of Honkai Star Rail, I suppose, yesterday, actually making my way through the story quest, because the 1.1 patch is coming out, next Tuesday, or whatever, and I'm like, I should probably finish the actual story, main story, at least, we have thus far, before, we get onto that. Because that's usually what I do for Genshin, for Honkai, I don't play all the side quests all the time. I play the side quests when I have a moment where I'm like, oh yeah, I feel like doing one of these side quests, but I normally keep up with the main story. I feel like I'm nearly done with it. I've gotten into a very strange part. I don't know if anyone actually plays Star Rail, but there's a part where basically I'm on the second planet, and it's whoa, you're doing these super important things, and now I've taken a side quest or something where I'm investigating medicine in some sort of cult. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's a hard swerve from exactly what we're doing. We literally just it's weird because I guess this is where we're going to start talking about today. I'm not going to try and give spoilers out, honestly, but there's a sort of peak climactic-esque, or not, maybe a sub-climax moment. It's not a finale or whatever, but it's whoa, this is a important part midway through the story in the second planet, which literally just happened, and we just sort of kind of resolved it a little bit, and it was just okay, now we need to see what the consequences are for that, and then it just did a whoosh, a hard swerve off to the right, and we got the sub story about investigating this this like tribe or cult or like movement, I suppose, which I've never even heard of before, and being investigated by this another branch of like their government, I suppose, which is I've never even heard of before. And then it's just like it's such a really random like swerve in the story. Like I don't really understand it, but I haven't finished it, so maybe it's a sort of thing where, you know, all the puzzle pieces fall into place, I suppose, after I've completed it. But yeah, I mean, like, stories do that sometimes. They get, like, hard swerves in the middle, you know, and, like, plot twists, as you might like to call them, depending on how well they're executed. It's interesting to think about, though, like, plot twists. You know, they're either executed extremely well, or just, you know, or they fall flat on their face. There's something which is, like, a target of ridicule, right? It's sort of like a rug pull rather than a... I don't know. What's, like, a good version of a rug pull? Like I don't know, a surprise cake. I don't know why that came to mind. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, because I've never seen an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I'm not quite properly sure how to say his name, but I think he's very known for his sort of like twist endings, right, in his movies. Like, and also he's known for like the Avatar movie, which is the bad Avatar movie, not the James Cameron Avatar movie, which is a fine Avatar movie, I would describe it as, for me personally. But yeah, he's known for like these crazy plot twists, right? Like so much so that even though I'd never watched any of his movies, I am aware of that meme, which is even weirder because I remember when I was younger, I knew of a meme about, oh, it must be an M. Night Shyamalan movie whenever like a plot twist happens or something, but I didn't actually know who he was. Like my knowledge of him as a meme predates my knowledge of him as a movie director, which I don't know if that's necessarily a good or bad thing. I think that's probably just because I was young when I first, you know, started hearing about it, you know, about the age where it started getting popular. I don't know if he's still making movies now, to be perfectly honest, but like it's what was the movie, his really popular one, where it's like, oh, the plot twist is that spoilers for one of the wait, hold on, I'll just look it up before I give spoilers because I don't actually know which movie it is. Sixth Sense. Oh yeah, I forgot he made like Split and Unbreakable and that sort of thing. But yeah, Sixth Sense, spoilers. It turns out the main character was like deceased this entire time or something, because it's something like the main character and this kid, and the kid can see like ghosts or something, and it's like, whoa, but you've been, you know, dead this whole time. How could this be? Well, I mean, I think it's still cool that he's like making movies and stuff. Like, even if his movies, some of his movies have like a negative reputation, I suppose, associated with it, with a reliance on plot twists and stuff. You know, at the end of the day, art is art, isn't it? There's not objective rights or wrongs. There's, I suppose, there's objective like harmful content. Or objectively harmful content, but I don't think his really falls into that, unless you're trying to make a joke, which, you know, no jokes around here, we don't have fun around here. I mean, his movies is just sort of like, the thing with a plot twist, it's not like, and all these sort of like story criticisms in general, it's like, there's not really anything wrong, I suppose, like in a moral sense, in a stand back from an artistic sense. With like having a badly written story, I suppose it depends how badly written it is. Like, if it's badly written, which teaches like wrong moral lessons, or in a very damaging way, or completely misrepresents things, or over reliance on, you know, harmful stereotypes or something like that, that's obviously bad. But, you know, plot twists are just kind of like, it's weird because it feels like one of the worst movie sins, I suppose you could do if this was Cinema Sins reviewing it, because it feels like such like a sucker punch, I guess, is best way to put it. It feels like an unearned like rug pull from underneath your feet, and you're just sort of like laying there dazed on the ground being like, wow, this could have been a great movie, but instead my head really hurts and my body kind of aches. And if you're like, you probably shouldn't be that injured after, you know, falling on the ground, then, you know, that's what old age might do to you. I don't think I'm at that age yet for where, you know, I'll start getting that much pain from falling on the ground. But yeah, again, I did get kind of injured from go-karting, so maybe that's hypocritical of me to say. But anyway, yeah, I'm Night Shyamalan. He's known for like The Sixth Sense. I know he's known for Split, Unbreakable, Glass, you know, whatever that trilogy is. I've not seen any of those. Are they good? I think my friends have seen them, and I think they said it was pretty good. I don't know if they said it was like an all-time classic, but they were like, yeah, this is still like worth a watch. Which is exactly why I haven't watched it, because, you know, some things have to be incredible or animated for me to watch them. yeah, I don't know. He's got like a big variety, I suppose, of movie receptions, right? You know, people love I forgot what it's called again. The Sixth Sense, and then he's got like the Avatar movie, which is one of the most reviled movies I think of all time. But so I don't know. I guess if anything, maybe that's sort of like he takes risks. I don't know necessarily how true that is because, again, I've never seen any of the movies, but I know plot twists. I want to talk about plot twists, but the thing is, I can't really talk about plot twists without spoiling things. And generally, the things where I feel like plot twists work well, I'm like, I don't want to spoil it for you. But I will say there's a game I played recently where I think a plot twist was done pretty well. So, I mean, if you watch any of my series, you'll probably know what I'm talking about once you get to the ending of it. Well, I was just like straight up in shock. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some like other one of the most like well-known plot twists in history. Certainly, Star Wars. I think it must be most. Is that like a car alarm going on from a distance? I'm hearing like some very high-pitched whining, like squealing noise, which I don't really know. I mean, hopefully that's not my computer, but I don't even know what I'm buying here. What am I doing? I'm meant to be at Brewster's. No, I'm meant to be here to sell things. That's right. I need to sell fruit. I mean, I think the number one well-known plot twist of all time has got to be the Star Wars, "No, I am your father," surely. Like, even before I even watched Star Wars or really knew anything about it, I knew that plot twist. I remember, I think I told the story before, where we watched, like, I don't know why, but we had like a enrichment lesson or class or whatever. No, it was not really an enrichment class. That's not really the right way to describe it, but it's basically we had like a free period. And for whatever reason, in that period, in that lesson, we watched like the beginning of Star Wars, I think. I genuinely got no clue why, but I remember. I can't. I'm paraphrasing it now, so it doesn't even have any sort of effect anymore. But the teacher, she just sort of went like, "Oh, you know, well, people love Star Wars and that sort of thing." We were like talking about Star Wars and that sort of thing, you know, like a Luke, I am your father sort of thing. And then my friend goes and he's like, "Oh, you know, dear darling, she's not actually watched Star Wars though. You can't spoil it for her." And I went, "What?" And I went along with a joke, being like, "Huh? What's the father thing about?" And then my teacher, I remember she looked so shocked, like she just like absolutely spoiled one of the greatest plot twists or something in history to me. And then I just, you know, at that moment I obviously went, "Oh no, I'm joking. Even I know about that plot twist." But it must have been cool to actually live through that like in real time. I don't know what the most modern equivalent of that would be. And I mean modern as in like 2010s sort of era. Because Star Wars was like 90s or something, wasn't it? Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back. 1980s, oh my god, it was even later. It was even earlier than I thought it was. That's crazy. Star Wars is so old. I genuinely didn't even think about the fact how old it is. Still going though. Anyway, what I was gonna say was, it must have been cool about, you know, to be alive in that sort of time, you know, Star Wars, I assume, was a pretty big, like, hit in media in general, you know, it was sort of thing that I'd imagine a lot of people knew about and were like, "Whoa, this is crazy, have you seen it?" And people were discussing all the time, and like, "I can't wait to watch," you know, well, I guess at the time it would be episode 3, rather than episode 6, but, you'd be like, "I can't wait to watch the final in the trilogy, of the Star Wars trilogy. I've already like booked my tickets well in advance. I've got like front row seats to the cinema or something," and discussing it, and then going into the cinema and then being like, "Whoa, the big bad this entire time is the main protagonist's father." Like they're interlinked in such a way which is mind-blowing. Like, I hear about the trivia fact that on the actual Star Wars set themselves, the only people who actually knew about the plot twist was the voice actor for Darth Vader and the writers and directors. Because in the actual recording or whatever, Darth Vader just goes, "No, I killed your father," or something like that. And then Luke goes, it's like, "No, no, no." But then, like, when they actually watch the screening himself, and it was just like, "Whoa, no, I am your father." Like, with people who, you know, worked on it, was just like, "What?" Can you imagine having such an iconic, I suppose, plot twist that basically your plot twist goes down in history as like the most well-known plot twist, I suppose, of all time? So much so that even the people who worked on it, not all of them even knew about it going into it. That's crazy. Actually, how does that even work, that only those people knew about the plot twist? Surely, like, the audio directors had to know about it, or the people who, like, did the recording or like the sound designers and stuff like that. I don't know, or like the editors. Surely, I don't really know. Maybe. But can you imagine that? Just like that's got to be like one of the highest honors, I suppose, for, you know, creating something so iconic, so well known, it goes down in history as the premier example of it in the first place. I suppose it has to be a good thing, of course. You know, you wouldn't want to go down in history as being like, oh, you made the most iconic, you know, horrible thing. I don't know. Well, rug pull plot twist, I suppose, in history. The most unearned like plot twist. Or you're like, oh, you wrote the worst developed character in history, so much so that it's like become a meme and it's become an icon for it. Like, obviously that probably wouldn't be so great, but for creating like the best known plot twist in history. I don't even know what would be more popular, I suppose, as plot twist. I know, I don't know what movie it is. I think it's Citizen Kane as a plot twist. There's spoilers maybe for Citizen Kane. Actually, I could just Google it. Yeah, it is Citizen Kane, where spoilers for this. There's a big plot twist where one of the main characters says something about Rosebud, and it turns out that Rosebud is the name of his childhood sled or something, which is weird to hear. I've not seen the movie, so maybe in the context of a movie, you're like, oh, this makes perfect sense, or like, wait, this is phenomenal. By itself, it's certainly something I go like, huh? Too, but you know, what do I know? Okay, so this is either Fauna or Lily. We at least know Lily's in her home, so I'm going to go talk to Lily. I don't know, what other like really iconic plot twists are there? I feel like I've spoken about plot twists before. This conversation feels familiar to me, but I don't know. This is where we get to TV tropes. TV tropes. Plot twist. What's like most well-known plot twist? The Village? I don't know what The Village even is. Shutter Island? Okay. Greatest plot twist of all time. Here we go. Drop something. Spoilers for literally any of these movies, I suppose, on here. Old? I don't even know what this is. It's by M. Night Shyamalan. Oh! I do know. This is about... It's something about, like, a family going onto a beach and they get, like, aged like crazy or something. Like that. I don't really remember. Inception? I'm not really sure what plot twist Inception is. I've not also watched Inception. So, you know. Chinatown, Citizen Kane, Gone Girl. I mean, a lot of these I can't talk about because I don't even know what the plot twist is. Primal Fear, Atonement, Parasite. Does Parasite have a plot twist? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's got a plot twist in the middle. Spoilers for Parasite. Parasite's actually like my favourite film of all time. It's so good. It's one of the perfect balancing, I think, of all things in a film. And it is probably one of the only films I've seen which it does like both terror, I wouldn't put it into horror, but like the terror, like thriller genre, and combines it so well with comedy. It's crazy. Prestige I've not seen, The Others not seen, Old Boy not seen, Scream not seen, Coco? So Scream isn't the plot twist, is like the woman who gets killed in the shower at the beginning was like a really like high tier actress or something. Everyone before watching a movie thought that she was like it was gonna be about her. And then the plot twist was like, whoa, she just like dies out. No, I don't think it was Scream. I think of Psycho. I don't know what Scream is. What's the plot twist of Coco? Oh yeah, there is a plot twist of Coco. I don't know if that should be on this list. I don't know if it was the greatest of all times. Planet of Apes, that's a very... Oh, Seven, that's also a really well-known one. Saw, okay, that's kind of well-known, I think. I've not even seen these. Malignant. I remember hearing this movie. I don't know what it is. Arrival, I've never seen. Inglourious, that word, I've never seen. Fight Club, that's a very well-known one as well. Okay, you know. I think it's just ones from like 90s and 80s. Oh, Psycho's on the list, actually. There you go. I already spoken about it. Star Wars. And Sixth Sense, you know. I already spoken about the top three. Sixth Sense, Star Wars, and Psycho. I don't know what Usual Suspects one is. Fight Club is a very well-known one. Also, not seen Fight Club. I should maybe watch more movies, but at the same time, maybe I won't. Anyway, I'm going to have this episode off here, I think. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope we can see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.